in Henrietta, making sure that, you know, that not a brief spin up or two. They've extended this severe thunderstorm warning now as well towards the northeast. So that is expected with the gusty winds that we're seeing here. And of course, it is just coming down out there, Ken. It is still coming down out there.
Yeah, it's pouring down out there. I'm just making sure we're back on Facebook Live here. I'm trying to make sure that's all good to go. So I think we're streaming again on Facebook. I'm just double checking and making sure everything is good to go there. I think we're good though. I think we're on. Yeah, so it looks like we got some people on now, so that's good. Wait a second, I need to go back to here to make sure that we got.
Let me check the National Weather Service chat.
There it is. All right, just want to make sure our sponsor was on there. All right, so yeah, but you know, it's still got to spin. You know, I mean, it's not super tight there, Jaden, but there's that spin. It's now northeast of Henrietta. It's going to pass southeast of Petrolia and up towards Ryan. You know, I still wouldn't be surprised at some point during the next, you know, next few minutes or, you know, next half hour, at some point this goes into a tornado warning. We got two. We're watching one up towards Petrolia, and this other one's now northeast of Henrietta. This is moving over mostly rural areas, and this will kind of go over the rural side of Clay County here, and then going to eventually head up towards Ryan up here in Jefferson County.
Yeah, so, they just reported that watching circulation near Petrolia and Byers.
Yeah, we've got this. Let's go up there and investigate this one. We've got this little. So remember this other night, Byers, you had a tornado that came out of the blue. It kind of did, but it kind of didn't, to be honest about it. You know, we kind of thought it was a possibility there, but you know, the Weather Service never really issued a warning for it until after it got northeast of you. But we were watching it, and we thought there was a possibility there could be something, and there was. So you've got kinks in the line here just northeast of Charley and down here near Petrolia. You've also got another northeast of Henrietta. These are kinks in the line, and what you have to do is see if these little kinks and these little spins that develop try to tighten up. It's when they tighten up is when you really have to worry about them here. So that does appear over Petrolia to be tightening up just a little bit there, Jaden. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. You can see it going towards Byers. So definitely see that tight rotation that you're seeing. It's starting to tighten up just a little bit, not as broad as we saw it earlier today.
All right, so let's plan to do another update on News Channel 6. We won't stay on continuous unless a warning gets popped, but let's plan another update on News Channel 6 here in a minute. You know, are we in programming right now? If you look
We're on a 24/7 right now. We're in the commercial right now.
All right. Well, let's get it through at the commercial break, and then once we go back into programming.
So we're in programming.
All right.
Now.
Let's do an update on News Channel 6. Let's do that right now. So let's just do whatever programming. We won't be on long. I don't think we could be, but we'll see. So our good friend Kyrie is here in the studio with us, and he's giving us good directions here this afternoon. All right, so we're on before, okay. All right, here's a weather update for you. I'm going to try to not keep this one on very long here. Now we got programming, but the storms in Clay County are getting a little bit more intense here. We're watching a couple areas of rotation. The one that I'm most concerned with now would be over Petrolia. No tornado warnings, just severe thunderstorm warnings for now, but there is a circulation over Petrolia, and this is going to be moving into Byers shortly here. And so while there's no tornado warning for you yet, we're going to keep an eye on that. Right now, the main concern is strong wind gusts and flooding rains. But again, these things are spinning a little bit, and something can spin up pretty quickly out of these. We're also watching another little spin just northeast of Charley, heading up towards the Hooper area and Clay and over into Jefferson County. So extreme northern Clay County, and on the other side of the Red River up here in Cotton and Jefferson County, we're watching you closely. Let's go a little bit further to the south, and let's see. We've also been watching a little rotation, seeing that now northeast of Henrietta. This could head up towards the Ryan, Oklahoma area as it moves northward. Strong wind gusts, the main concern here, but you do see a broad circulation north of Henrietta. And again, I wouldn't be surprised to see a warning come out for some of these. Right now, it's just severe. Let's go down to the south, and let's take a look down here to the south and see what's going on with the thunderstorms. Broad rotation southeast of Buffalo Springs. Strong wind gusts headed right at Bowie. Let's go to Weatherman Cam. He is in the Comanche Nation Entertainment First Alert Storm Tracker. Cameron, you're out ahead of that line. Where are you at, and what do you see?
Yeah, Ken. Right now I'm on Highway 59, and I'm pushing towards Bowie. We're watching this southern tail of the storms that we're watching all afternoon.
Looks like we lost Cameron there for a minute. So before we go back to programming, just going to kind of talk about the line. There is, and when I was coming into work this afternoon, the rain is just incredibly heavy. And we're seeing reports of a lot of flooded streets here in Wichita Falls near Hatton Road, and a lot of cars are flooded, Midwestern Parkway, and it's just raining heavily. So watch those drainage ditches as these lines push over you. Flooding rain is a concern. We've already seen a lot of heavy rain, and this is moving through, and this is going to create more problems. The good news is the back edge of all of this is coming through Wichita County down into Archer County now. This is the back edge here. Once the line pushes through, your threat for severe weather ends, this main line here. But you still got some more showers coming in from the south and maybe downpours, but this should move out of here in time for games tonight. That is the good news. We're live on the 24/7 channel and Facebook Live. We're going to go back over there, and if any warning breaks out, we'll be sure to let you know here on News Channel 6. All right, so once again, Jaden, just a lot going on with all this heavy rain moving through. Thankfully, we don't see any reports of tornadoes at this time, right?
No reports.
All right, and what's the Weather Service say anything about those storms now?
All they said was just that rotation that we pointed out, and that's about it. Nothing else on that. They said they're monitoring it. So
Right. Okay. Well, that's good. We'll continue.
the main issues right now is just definitely the flooding. They're upgrading the flood advisory near Frederick for the flash flooding, especially here in Wichita. There's lots of flooding going on, like you just mentioned as well, Ken.
You know, I'd love to, if anybody's watching this on Facebook Live, I would love to let us know what you got if you're seeing flooding at your location. And if you have video, I can actually put that video on live here too. So if you've got flooding at your location, let me know, and that way we can actually show that here on what we have here. So if you got flooding, just let me know on Facebook Live here, so we can kind of talk about that a little bit there, Jaden. Jaden, what's going on with that line right now?
Well, it's still pushing towards the northeast a little bit, so that's the good news there. And you can see the severe thunderstorm warnings are still in effect. But like you mentioned earlier, we're on the back end of that storm, so that is the good news there. You can see towards the back end of Wichita Falls, towards the west, like Vernon, you're seeing nice and dry conditions right now, so that is definitely the good news there. The severe thunderstorm warning still affects parts of Wichita Falls here, and that's the heavy downpours of rain that we're seeing, getting ready to move into Eureka, parts of Duncan as well. Moderate rainfall right now in Duncan, but that's going to quickly change. I know a lot of people are traveling. Today is Friday. You got high school football going on. You got to travel to these games, and maybe they're further out outside of Texoma. If you're driving down 287, you know, you're going to encounter these heavy downpours of rain, especially if you're going across Bowie, maybe coming into Wichita Falls. So you definitely want to go ahead and get ready for these heavy downpours of rain. This is the same line that showed history of showing some broad rotation at times, tight rotation at times, even tornado warnings at times. So you want to definitely take this storm seriously, as it's getting into an environment where it will start to definitely get into an environment where it likes it and it starts to grow even more. So there's the gusty winds that we're watching moving through Ryan right now, Eureka, parts of Terrell, Ringgold, Henrietta. You're seeing the gusty winds. You're kind of on the back end of that, so that's the good news there. But right where that line is, out in front of it, we're expecting those gusty winds early on today. I'm not sure what the reports are now, but we did see some gusts up to 60-mile-per-hour winds. So that's pretty gusty, especially with the heavy downpours of rain. Makes it visibility very difficult to see, especially if you're on the road. So try to get inside if you can to let this storm just kind of pass by. You can see it's fairly moving quickly, not too fast, but for the most part, on the backside here in Wichita Falls, we're in moderate rain conditions here. So we're still in that severe thunderstorm warning, mainly due to the flooding and the gusty winds, and there's a little bit of hail associated, but I'm not seeing any hail on this scan right here.
So would you say, Jaden, right now, Wichita Falls, would you say that the severe threat here is over?
I would say, because the main line is further over
That's
towards
right.
the east, so
That's
it's
right.
continuing moving to the east. I was about to say that it's done, but granted the severe thunderstorm warning, we're still in that box there just to be on the safe side. But,
Well, you know, I mean, I think it's pretty safe for us
Yeah.
to say at this point in time that the back edge of this warning is over with. I mean, even though it's officially still there, I feel like it should be over with, because it's just I mean, the line is cleared. Once that line moves through, your threat's over. Even though there's some rain on the backside of that, it's not severe weather on the backside of it. So
right.
yeah. So but we still got these storms there. And Jaden, why don't you kind of talk about what's going on, at least from the wind standpoint in these storms?
Yeah, just definitely gusty winds. Like I mentioned, the greens is going towards the radar. So you have winds going this way, very gusty. I'm not quite sure what the gusts are right now, but we know they are definitely gusty. And you can see some little kinks that Ken is drawing in right there. That's a little bit of rotation. When you have the red going away and the green going towards it, it does this motion right here. And so Everybody knows what that motion is right there. That's just something to watch out for. Nothing, we're not saying that there's anything on the ground there, but we have the possibility to see embedded tornadoes. When you have a line of storms moving like this towards the northeast and heavy downpours of rain, it makes it very hard to see if there is even a funnel cloud or a tornado on the ground. So that's the reason we look at this radar run right here to see where exactly those gusts are. You can see a little bit of a rotation further down south too right here, Ken. What you think about it?
Where do you want me to look at?
No, yeah, right there.
Okay, yeah.
You see there's a little bit of rotation that I was mentioning with the red going away from the radar and also going towards the radar. So that's in the direction heading towards Ryan right now. Not a tornado warning, still severe thunderstorm warning, but that's still something that you definitely want to look at if you're out and about in Ryan right now. Hopefully you're not out and about because you're about to see the heavy downpours of rain if you're already not seeing it. So
yeah, very heavy rain. That's I think that right now, just by looking at all this stuff, the biggest threats on radar is just flooding here and some strong wind gusts. So looking down into Bowie now, you got this thunderstorm area. That's going to be some really heavy rain and maybe even a little small hail in there. Don't you think, Jaden?
Yeah, definitely. That pink color that you see there, that's a indicator of some small hail moving a little bit south of Bowie. So as I mentioned, if you're traveling right now along Highway 287, you might want to try to pull over and get off the road for a little bit just because of the heavy downpours of rain as well as the gusty winds. It's hard, especially if you have a small vehicle, Ken. I used to have a Mustang driving across 287 with gusty winds. That's very hard to do.
That's right. I'm about to do something a little different here. This is going to freak you out. Give me just a second. Let me see if you can do this right here. So I'm about to do a 3D splice on this storm here. And I'm going to flip this around, I think anyway. This is just looking at the storm here. That's all it's doing. And we're just looking at the storm itself. And then just showing something different. That's all I'm doing here, Jaden. I'm not doing anything. But this doesn't really mean too much here. But I am just trying to show where you might see. See those little white colors in there? That might be some small hail showing up.
Right.
Yeah, kind of right in there. But you can see that they don't extend super high up into the thunderstorm, so I wouldn't think this would be very big at all. It probably
the updrafts aren't too strong.
Yeah, they're not very strong at all. So, but anyway, I was just showing that just for the heck of it. So, I mean, we might as well show off our stuff here while we're looking at this stuff here. Don't you agree?
Oh, definitely. That's a cool graphic to show right there.
Yeah, it's all right.
Tool to use.
It's all right. That's true. It is. I'm trying to get us back to our standard. I'm trying to.
I know a lot of people are asking too. Are we going to be okay for the football games? I know I keep talking about that, but a lot of people.
Well, you're a football guy. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, I know the intensity of waiting to see. Okay, well, are we going to cancel the game or not? You don't have to worry about that because once this line finally moves across the region, as I was mentioning to Ken earlier. This line is very similar to what we saw on Monday. Remember, I kept saying on our Facebook Live, we just got to get this line out of our region, then we'll be finally done with the severe weather. Well, that's already true for our western counties. Like Seymour, you're done with the rain for today. You're done. Tomorrow's just going to be nice and beautiful. All the action is further over towards the east. Even Wichita Falls, we're finally done with the severe storms. They're going to expire this warning here. And we're just still seeing gradually moderate rain here. That's moving towards the northeast, but here's the main line, like I mentioned, still moving towards the east, still something to watch out for some little bit of kinks in the rotation, maybe some small rotation, maybe start broaden rotation as well. But for the most part, like Kim mentioned, this is mainly a flooding threat so far, so that's the good news there.
All right, but we do have people sending pictures of flooding and whatnot there from Facebook there. Somebody asked me just a second ago, why is Facebook Live asking for money to subscribe and watch? I have no idea because that shouldn't be a thing, not ever. So I don't know what's going on with that. So I'm gonna have to investigate and see what's going on. But
and Cameron is now south of Bowie, right on that line.
Well, let's take Cameron then. Can we get Cameron? And Cameron, you're out there. You're chasing this line. In my opinion, you're kind of down there with the most intense storm there, just south of Bowie. What are you seeing?
Yeah, Ken, right now going down 287 south right now, and yeah, you nailed it. This is probably going to be our most intense storm at the given time. I've been watching it. There was a little bit of rotation heading for Bowie. That dropped off, so it just became a rain and heavy wind thing. And then, but if you look at radar now, and I'm sure you guys will break it down here shortly, you got a little bit of a more potent storm forming just west of Sunset, which is almost southeast of Bowie. And you're seeing some of those clashing velocities, some of the clashing wind speeds. So there could be some broad rotation at the given time. But with the latest radar scan, it showed it trying to be a bit more of a supercell look to some degree, trying to give it a little bit more of that what we call that hook echo on the southern tail, that hook where we watch for the storms to try to tighten up. Now, something I do want to mention, Ken, is that I think one of the limiting factors here has been there has not been much in terms of winds at the Earth's surface, which does hinder the chance for tornado formation. However, as I'm going further south down to 87, I'm seeing the winds pick up just a little bit more and more. So there could be a bit more of a favorable environment. And the environment out ahead of this line, it's also warm, it's also humid. So the air is good. It's just going to be a matter of what I think it's going to come down to is, do the winds at the Earth's surface pick up enough to try to bring something to the ground? But gonna have to kind of wait and see. But I'm basically about to enter Sunset, Texas, where I'll be in position to be on the southern tail of this storm once again, and then we'll watch that, see if that tries to do anything, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that. I see what looks like some broad rotation down towards Crafton, but you can kind of see the kind of that's a pretty impressive storm. Just from a radar standpoint, as it's crossing into southern Montague County, could be some pretty strong winds down there, heavy rain, and maybe some flooding. And the good news is, Jaden, these storms up north that have been showing signs of rotation, the rotation has remained broad, and I certainly do not see any signs that those things are about to produce tornadoes anytime soon. So that's good news.
That's the good news there.
Yep, so far the storms are behaving, and we'll watch this one down to the south down there towards the Crafton and those areas and make sure that they don't start doing anything. But as of right now, mostly just a rain and wind threat, which that's primarily what you see with a line of thunderstorms. You see wind and you see rain. That's
definitely flooding.
Yeah, and flooding. Those are the main things you see within these lines of storms. Sometimes a little hail, but you have to watch, tornado potential. A lot of times you can get some little spin ups, but the one that I would be, usually the one you worry about the most is the southern tail end storm, and that's kind of the strongest one we're seeing. But I do expect this line to solidly form from Weatherford. There's actually some supercells developing down towards like Oak Trails, the Granbury area south of Weatherford too, but they'll be kind of more over towards Wise County and those areas, over to the east there. So they'll be mostly out of our viewing area. So, but right now, Bowie's the area we're watching with heavy rain moving there, flooding. The good news there is that line is going to move through pretty quickly in Bowie. So I don't know that we'll see the same amount of flooding that we saw a short while ago here. So, but we'll keep an eye on that, make sure nothing happens. And looking up to the north again, those storms mostly just strong wind producers is all there basically are here at this time. So thankfully, no more tornado warnings out there. There is this watch, but I think that we can take these counties pretty much out of the watch here. I think we can take Comanche, Cotton, Jefferson, Wichita, Archer. We can take you out of most of Clay County, the western parts of Jack County. Those areas probably out. The threat for any severe weather, I think, is going to kind of be over in here for the rest of the afternoon there, or maybe even east of Lawton there. So those are the areas we'll watch and see. It's mostly, again, within this line. It's not our typical supercell thunderstorms. These are kinks that we're watching, and so far so good with most of these here. So looks like there might be a little delay over on Facebook.
Yeah,
Live
that's
a pretty significant delay too, but
I'm not sure what's going on with this today.
yeah, it's just modern technology. It's just what happens sometimes. So I mean, that's just how it goes. But here in the falls, we're just seeing some downpours and moderate rain pushing through, and this will end here, I think, in the next several hours. Like I've said earlier, I think this will end just in time for high school football games tonight.
Right.
So
some models had it going out around 5 p.m.
Yeah,
that was one of the last models.
That'll be good too. Matter of fact, I'm sure you've got this in here. We'll show this. This is the HRRR. Oh, I don't want that one. I want to show the HRRR computer model. So let me pull this back up here. So yeah, there the line is as of 3:30, an hour from now, and that might even be a little slow, but it does look like to me that the line will be probably kind of in this area over in here. This actually is a pretty good radar depiction, but I would imagine in an hour from now it'll probably be more like over into here. So it's a little bit off, but it has done a pretty good job of showing these little kinks, and that just shows you how good the computer model is, though. But it shows it all lifting out. Look at this is game time, and maybe a brief shower, but anything heavy is over with by then. So that is good news, and we're looking good for the weekend.
Definitely. I mean, I forecasted the upper 60s for tomorrow and maybe the low 70s by Sunday. Lots of sunshine. So you couldn't ask for a better fall weekend.
Oh, yeah, boy, we
had to end the day, the week off right, with storms pushing through. So
yes, so we had to end it just right. We went all of October without a drop of rain, hardly.
I know.
and so hot. And then we get to November and just boom, everything just goes crazy.
You know, I was talking to somebody. I was thinking that the reason we're seeing this pattern, because one, we are in the La Nina pattern, right?
Yeah, we're
And
kind
then
of there. Yeah,
you-
it's kind of weak La Nina.
Do
Yeah.
you feel like we're kind of behind a month?
Yes, I feel like that. I was talking with my wife about that here too. It's just everything is like behind schedule for a month. It was like the climate had to adjust to the transitions taking place, and it just took it a little bit longer for it to adjust there. So yeah, it feels like we're about, because October, when we get severe weather in the fall here, it's usually October. I've seen a few in November, but not a lot. But November's been active. So yeah, we still got this storm down there near the Bowie area. I've got some good bow echoes. That little lake down there is Lake Amon Carter. That thunderstorm is crossing Lake Amon Carter now.
It's filling that thing up, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I don't know what our lake levels are going to look like, but by the time all said and done here, they should be on the rise. I mean, but they were so far down, it's just going to take a lot to fill them up.
Right.
But anywhere along that line, there could be some little rotation from Bridgeport all the way into Bowie. You know, we got people that watch us actually from Wise County. You know, I have people that message me on my page all the time and say, "Hey, look, the stations down here in Fort Worth don't cover us right. We would rather you guys. We like how you guys cover it." Right. So I try to talk at least on social media about Wise County. I know they're officially not in what we call DMA, our viewing area, but you know, I do try to keep up with them down there. There's a little spin there. Over Bowie, not a strong spin, but there's a little bit of rotation showing up there near Bowie. Again, it's one of these little kinks here. Yeah. Cameron, looks like you're on 287 now. Are you out there? Where are you at right now? Well, actually, it looks like you're stopped somewhere. Where are you at right now, Cameron?
Yeah, Ken, I was actually stopped behind a train as it was clearing the train tracks where we're moving now, but I'm on FM 1749, so I just got off of 287 and clearing Sunset now. I'm pushing towards the Forestburg-ish area and going to try to keep with these storms and watch how they do. You know, they're kind of, you know, the storm mode is in general messy. It's a line of storms is what we've got going on here. But the problem is, you know, we'll see a scan where you have some better rotation, but then, you know, the next scan you'll have that rotation potentially dropping off to the south of that storm or to the north of that storm. So it's a bit of a tricky chase right now. But right now, I think I'm going to go